What happens when a Hollywood legend is caught off guard by questions she never expected? When years of carefully protected privacy clash with hard-hitting journalism on live TV? When Priscilla Presley, the woman who once shared her life with the king of rock and roll, reaches her limit in front of millions of viewers? Today, we look back at one of the most intense interviews ever aired on morning television, where a simple promotional appearance turned into a full-blown media storm. Make sure to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think Prescilla should have done differently? The Today Show studio buzzed with its usual morning energy as Priscilla Presley walked onto the set. She was there to promote her new memoir and talk about the upcoming Elvis tribute concert series. The interview was supposed to be simple and friendly, a conversation about her projects and light memories of her late husband. Host Sarah Jenkins smiled warmly. "Good morning, Prescilla. Thank you for joining us. I know our viewers are eager to hear about your new book." "Good morning, Sarah." "Thank you for having me," Prescilla replied, settling comfortably in her chair like someone who had done this 100 times before. "Before we dive into the book," Sarah began, "there's something in the news I have to ask about. There have been reports of financial issues within the Elvis estate. Can you comment?" Priscilla's smile faded slightly. "I thought we were here to talk about my memoir and the tribute concerts. That's what your producers agreed on." "Well, yes, but our viewers are curious about these developments," Sarah pressed. "There are claims of disputes over how Elvis's legacy is managed, disagreements within the family." "Sarah, those are private matters," Priscilla replied calmly, though her tone sharpened. "I don't think this is the right place to discuss them." Sarah leaned forward. "But surely, as a public figure tied to someone as iconic as Elvis, you understand that people want to know what's really happening." "The truth is, we're working together to honor Elvis's memory," Priscilla said. "Now about my book, which is why I'm here." "Actually, speaking of truth," Sarah interrupted, "we've received information about your relationship with Elvis that conflicts with your earlier interviews, particularly about your separation." Priscilla's jaw tightened. "Excuse me? According to documents and statements from people close to Elvis, your version of events might not be entirely accurate." "I can't believe what I'm hearing," Priscilla said, her voice rising. "Are you questioning my own memories of my marriage?" "I'm just asking for clarity," Sarah replied. "Some suggest you've been protecting Elvis's image at the cost of your own truth." "What sources?" Priscilla demanded. "Who's saying this?" "I can't reveal names," Sarah said. "But they're individuals who worked with Elvis near the end of your marriage. They describe a very different picture." Priscilla stared at her, trying to process the ambush. "This is unacceptable. You brought me here under false pretenses. We agreed on specific topics, and now you're ambushing me with gossip from unnamed people." "These aren't gossip," Sarah said defensively. "We've verified these claims." "Verified? You're treating my marriage like a crime story," Priscilla snapped. "Elvis isn't here to defend himself, and you're dragging us both through the dirt for ratings." "We're trying to give viewers the full picture," Sarah said carefully. "People deserve the truth, not a filtered version." "The real truth?" Priscilla laughed bitterly. "I loved my husband. We had challenges, but we stayed committed to raising our daughter and protecting his legacy. That's the truth, not your so-called sources." The studio fell silent. Sarah seemed to realize the tension, but continued anyway. "Don't you think fans deserve to know who Elvis really was? The truth that he was human? That he made mistakes?" Priscilla said, her voice growing sharp. "Everyone already knows that. What you're doing isn't journalism. It's exploitation." The atmosphere shifted completely. What had started as polite TV chatter had become a heated exchange. Sarah tried to sound calm. "These are legitimate questions, Priscilla. The public has a right to know about inconsistencies in public stories." "Inconsistencies?" Priscilla repeated, anger breaking through. "What inconsistencies? You've only made vague claims based on nameless sources." Sarah checked her notes. "Well, you've always said your decision to leave Graceland was mutual, but our sources say another woman was involved. That you gave Elvis an ultimatum." "Stop right there," Priscilla said, raising her hand. "I will not sit here while you invent drama. My marriage was complicated, yes, but deeply personal. I don't owe you or anyone else every detail of my private life." "But don't you see how the public might feel misled?" Sarah asked. "Your story shapes how people view Elvis." "Misled?" Priscilla snapped. "I never lied. I just didn't expose every private pain for public entertainment. That's called dignity, Sarah. Respect." Sarah leaned back but didn't quit. Speaking of your daughter, Lisa Marie, there are also questions about her relationship with her father. Some sources say Elvis was more unstable than you've admitted. Priscilla's expression froze. Her color drained, then flushed red. How dare you bring my daughter into this? Lisa Marie loved her father deeply, and he adored her. Whatever issues Elvis and I had nothing to do with her. But didn't she deserve to know who her father truly was? Sarah pressed. Priscilla stood up suddenly, her chair scraping across the floor. This interview is over. Priscilla, please sit, Sarah said, panicked. We're live on air. I don't care if we're live across the world, Priscilla shouted. You've crossed every line. You invited me here to promote my work, not to attack my family. We're not trying to attack anyone, Sarah said, rising too. We just want honesty. Honesty? Priscilla laughed harshly. You're hiding behind faceless sources. You're spinning rumors into questions. You ambushed me on national television. Sarah glanced toward her producers for help. Priscilla, viewers want answers. Public figures face scrutiny. Scrutiny is fine, Priscilla shot back. But this is character assassination. She grabbed her purse. You should scrutinize your own ethics. Please, just a few more minutes, Sarah pleaded. Let's go back to your book. Now you want to talk about my book? Priscilla said bitterly. After 10 minutes of tearing apart my personal life? The studio was silent except for their voices. Crew members froze, cameras rolling. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot, Sarah tried again. Let's take a short break and start over. There's no starting over, Priscilla said coldly. You've shown who you are, a journalist who lures guests in with lies. These aren't lies, Sarah argued. We have credible witnesses. Then name them, Priscilla challenged. If they're credible, why hide? The tension was unbearable. Priscilla stood tall while Sarah looked lost, realizing how badly things had gone. Priscilla, please, Sarah said, her voice cracking. We can move on. Move on? Priscilla's tone burned. You can't erase what you did. You questioned my integrity, dragged my daughter into your nonsense, and now you want to act professional again? Sarah looked toward the cameras nervously. Sometimes interviews take unexpected turns. We can still be civil. A professional, Priscilla cut in, would have stuck to agreed topics. A professional would never blindside a guest. The show's producer appeared on the floor, motioning frantically. Sarah tried one last time. Priscilla, what if we give you a chance to set the record straight? The record was never wrong, Priscilla said. You created this chaos for views. And now you want me to fix it for you? Sarah's face glistened under the lights. Surely you want people to know your side. My side? Priscilla's voice was firm. I lived it. I don't need to defend my life against made-up stories. Sarah, desperate, made her final mistake. I understand you're emotional, but emotions don't change facts. We have documentation. Documentation? Priscilla exploded. Show it now. Put it on screen. If you have proof, let's see it. Sarah froze. We can't show sensitive materials live. Excuses, Priscilla shouted. You have nothing real. Just gossip and half-truths. The entire studio was still. Sarah's face showed panic. This, Priscilla said, addressing the camera, is what's wrong with journalism today. You think you can ruin lives and hide behind fake professionalism. You lie to get interviews, then pretend it's all truth-seeking. Priscilla, please lower your voice, Sarah said quietly. Don't tell me to lower my voice, Priscilla yelled, stepping closer. You wanted drama? Well, you got it. But you also got the truth about who you are. The producer signaled to cut to commercial, but it was too late. The damage was done. I came here to talk about my book and to celebrate Elvis, Priscilla said firmly. Instead, I've had to defend my family against lies. This isn't journalism, it's sensationalism. We didn't mean to attack you, Sarah stammered. Stop lying, Priscilla said. You planned this ambush. You wanted a reaction and you got one. Viewers everywhere were watching history unfold. You act like an investigator, Priscilla said. But what you're really doing is exploiting a man who can't defend himself and a family that's spent decades honoring his name. Sarah tried to speak, but Priscilla went on. Elvis gave the world his heart, and this is how you repay that? By digging up rumors for entertainment? The cameras captured every second. Your intentions don't matter, Priscilla said, tightening her purse strap. Your actions do. You've shown nothing but disrespect for me, for Elvis, and for your viewers. The studio crew stood in stunned silence. I want everyone watching to understand, Priscilla continued. This is not journalism. Real journalists don't deceive guests or hide behind anonymous names. Priscilla, please, maybe we can reschedule, Sarah said weakly. There will be no next time, Priscilla replied. You had your chance. The show was in chaos, schedules ruined, commercial breaks missed. To anyone thinking about appearing on this show, Priscilla said to the camera, learn from my mistake. Get everything in writing. Because their word means nothing. Sarah looked close to tears. You know what's saddest? Priscilla added. I had wonderful stories to share, memories that would have touched people. But you chose scandal over sincerity. The studio was silent as Priscilla turned to leave. I'm walking out, she said. Not because I'm afraid, but because I won't be part of this disgrace. Priscilla, wait, Sarah pleaded. Let me make it right. Priscilla stopped and faced her one last time. The only mistake you made was believing you could humiliate me and get away with it. You didn't make mistakes, you made choices. Now live with them. With that, Priscilla Presley walked off the set, leaving behind a shaken host, a stunned crew, and one of the most unforgettable moments in live TV history. The fallout would last for years. What did you think of this confrontation? Was Priscilla right to walk out? Or should she have stayed and defended herself? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more moments like this.